May 21st, 2015. I'm your host, Larry Brass.
That other body in the screen is me, LEM.
All right, you can find 1Life2Play on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.tv. Just look for 1Life2Play. Now, this week in the show, we'll be talking about Rihanna, who's in a battle with DC Comics. But this time, LEM, it's not on the battlefield. It's in the courts.
Ooh. Now, Need for Speed, everybody remembers Need for Speed. So, yes, fans, Need for Speed is getting a reboot.
Sony and Microsoft have outlined some details for their E3 press conferences.
But not forgetting about Xbox One owners that managed to get a TV somehow.
That's amazing. We'll wrap the show up by talking about and reviewing ourselves some of the critic reviews for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. But before we get into all that, let's get to Around the Room. All right, so this is Around the Room. I'm going to start off here.
Okay.
What I've been playing this past week has basically been some Destiny.
Don't even do it, man. Don't even do it and spoil it for me. Yes, I did get the expansion, but I'm not at his level yet.
You're not at my level. I don't even think you're at my level as far as Guardian is concerned. Did you hit level 31 yet?
I am at 31.
Okay, so we are on the same level. So
Right.
You're going to be fine in this. But I'm going to tell you, it's a bit difficult. They have made it very, very, what would you say? It's they have scaled it to the level of what they have brought you to.
Well, that's good because in a lot of strikes and a lot of missions that we're doing, it felt real mundane. Like,
Yeah.
It was hard, but we already knew it. We already knew what we had to do.
We're just kind of skating through shit. You know?
Yeah. Now you're throwing a different learning curve at us, and I like it.
Along with some Destiny, I've been playing some Mortal Kombat 10.
Ooh, see,
I don't know if I should call it Mortal Kombat X or 10. I don't know. I like the X, but it's Mortal Kombat 10.
The Mortal Kombat Un X.
I have not played online yet.
Yeah.
So I hope to maybe play you soon.
Oh, very good.
I can play a novice beginner.
I guess he's gonna break some wins out.
I'm snapping some necks there, man. they brought back X-ray. I like to see it. So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
And I've been playing the story mode, and the story is pretty. I don't know. A lot of gamers kind of say like, it's just a story, and fighting games really don't, grab many.
Right.
But
There's not a lot of campaign mode that you can jump into and be immersive in a fighting game.
What I'm finding is for Mortal Kombat 10 and the way they approach the campaign is it's really just an introduction to the new characters. So that's why I have to play that first. Like I played the story mode in games like Injustice, Tekken X or Tekken Cross Street Fighter. I played those stories, but there were really no new characters or anything like that. So the idea of playing a story was just trying to give you a storyline to go along with fighting game, and it kind of didn't mix.
Right. Because you got your fighting game, but you know that basically it's in a mission you're going to complete. You're going to go out and fight somebody.
Right.
So to put your fighting game story behind its characters, its new characters that it's introducing.
And there's a lot of new characters.
And I see now why you, a man of very few campaign modes in that genre.
Indeed.
To jump into that story and actually like it. So
you're really giving me some background. You're understanding why I'm now back in Outworld, and I'm seeing all these new gods and these new champions in Mortal Kombat, why they're there, what they're there to do, and it makes sense to why you see all these new fighting styles, you see the new types of fighting, plus just the idea of who the hell is that?
Right, it's a lot better than you just fighting an opponent and then giving you a 2-second trailer or whatever.
Exactly.
Explaining that opponent where it came from. Now you actually get the background, you get to go in there, you get the classic Mortal Kombat.
So that's me in Around the Room. That's what I've been playing. LEM, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, it's quite simple. Grand Theft Auto got reintroduced into my family.
That's nice.
So what am I at?
Wait, Grand Theft Auto 5, the game. Like you're not out there stealing cars or anything.
I'm not.
Right? Grand Theft Auto did not get introduced.
I'm not Grand Theft Autoing. I did go and purchase Grand Theft Auto 5, the game.
Okay.
So that's maybe the third copy I've bought,
Okay.
literally, and
Of course.
so just going back through it, more online multiplayer mode.
I know we tried online
Yeah.
a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't really my cup of tea.
No,
Yeah.
no, I
But
mean,
what level are you at now?
I'm what, a 7, 8.
Oh, you still haven't even reached me, and
So-
I dropped it.
Yeah, so I mean, once we stop, as soon as you go online, you have to throw your passive mode on. Kid you not, a Lego block car tried to run me over,
Wow.
and then sped off away when I pulled my gun out and shot two warning shots, just 2.
What kind of gun you got?
Just 2, just a Glock 9. You know.
See, you ain't even gonna make no damage with
Yeah,
that.
and not at all. But
You
it's sped
popping off,
away.
pop, 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 and it ain't doing nothing.
So
And for you, it's just pop, pop.
I'm thinking, yeah, just 2 shots, like a real, like if you were in real life. I shot 2 off. The car sped away. I walk around the corner, and there are 3 little Lego cars and a pink cute car. They're all trying to run me over.
They got you in the trap. They
Nah.
trap mode
So
you.
I see. Once I got through that, I went back into the story mode because Grand Theft Auto 5, I do have to give it to them. When they built that story, I wasn't a big key player in the 3 characters spinning around, but they made it look great and it worked. Yes.
The thing is that I'm kind of, missing is where's the expansion to the campaign?
Right.
Where's more of Trevor's story or more of Franklin's story?
No.
Like, where's all that? Because the story really only seemed to revolve around Michael.
Right. Right.
So
right. You should break out Franklin's story. I mean, I think you should for an expansion. Just to give our thoughts real quick. An expansion, I would start at Trevor. It is fun playing Trevor.
Yep.
You have no problem playing Trevor. It's always an excitement. Then branch out to Franklin because Franklin always, he's a hustler.
he's a
The guy's
hustler. He's a
smart.
badass right
He knows how to get it in. And then Michael. Here comes Michael.
there. And I think of
Michael
all the
Michael.
characters from Grand Theft Auto 5, it was Franklin that didn't get fleshed out enough. Like,
Right.
he had some real issues. Like, I'd like to see Lamar come back into that story, figure out what's going
My
on.
ninja.
Just figure out what's going on in
Yes.
Franklin's world.
Yes.
But we have something to look forward to this summer from
Right.
Rockstar.
So,
What else has it been?
Thanks to the Sony network giving us Guacamelee for this month.
Yes.
So I have been playing some Guacamelee. Thanks to Brass. Every time that I see him playing Guacamelee,
I'm playing that on Xbox One, by the way. So
I just have to say Guacamelee. It's a fun word.
it's fun to say, right?
Yes, it is.
Guacamelee.
And fun to play.
Yeah.
Very fun to play.
All right, before we close out this around the room, give me one game that you're looking forward to picking up. Maybe it's a game that's already out or not out, but I'm gonna narrow it down. Game that's already out, we don't have yet. What are you looking forward to picking up someday?
I want to say The Witcher.
The Witcher?
The Witcher 3.
All right, that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later in the show. For me, I am still looking to probably play Smite.
Oh.
Remember Smite? It was it's like League of Legends. It's the mobile style gameplay, but it's from the first person view.
Yes.
That is now available on Xbox One, and I'm really itching to pick that up because it's $19.99. Xbox One Gold owners, I believe, get it for $16 or $17.99. I'm kind of thinking like maybe I should go pick that up.
It's not bad. A first person League of Legends.
Yeah, and you can play it on the console.
That is cool.
So that's pretty awesome. Cool. So that was Around the Room for this week. We want to know what games you've been playing and what you're looking forward to play. If you haven't played it already, give us your thoughts. Make sure you leave that in the comments or hit us up on Twitter at 1Life2Play. We can take these glasses off now.
Cool.
All right, so now on to Rihanna and her trouble with DC Comics. Now, according to Comic Book Resources, Rihanna has filed a trademark for the name Robin, spelled with a Y, as you can see, for a magazine and some other non-downloadable content that she's going to be putting out of her likeness and just telling her story, or I don't even know what the content specifically is going to be. But DC Comics kind of took offense to it and it caught their attention, and they filed objections with the U.S. Trademark Office to kind of put a stop to all this. Now, again, she's spelling it with a Y.
With a Y. With a Y.
DC Comics thinks that some dumbass, I guess, is going to mistaken this for the comic book character Robin. And they want to protect their interest in that. Now, I don't know. I don't really think that DC has any ground, to stand on.
We can kind of see where DC is coming from. When you say something like they're trying to protect their interests, are we saying that DC doesn't think that Robin Rihanna is a good image to have the name of Robin at all?
I don't think it's about her image. I think it's just about the name in general.
You think it's just a name?
So her name is Robin Rihanna Fenty. Is that the
Fenty?
Fenty?
When did she put Fenty back?
She's not going by her. She should just go by Fenty.
Fenty. Yeah.
Fenty.
Go by Fenty.
Well,
Fenty.
But the thing is her name is Robin. That's her name.
Well, I didn't
with
know
a Y.
And I'm sure that a lot of fans of Rihanna probably didn't know that it was Robin. So we're gonna go look at it at a DC point of view. We're talking about the same people that wouldn't allow Batman to kill, right, in DC.
True.
Versus what was it, DC versus Marvel?
But DC still put their name on that anyway.
Of course they are. They're not going to not get paid.
Obviously, you don't give a damn about the name anyway. You didn't even use his name in the game that said DC versus Mortal Kombat. You didn't even use his name. Right, so what's the problem?
So we go back to them saying they want to protect that image. Like they want to protect that. What are they protecting? Just the name Robin?
I guess so. So like it's me. Like Braz, if you guys didn't know, Braz comes from my last name, Brazil. It's like if I wanted to make a comic book of myself and call it Brazil. Am I going to get sued by the country Brazil then because I named a comic book after my own last name? It's my goddamn name.
You better patent your name is what I got to say, because if DC has any word about it, they're coming after you.
So we want to know what you guys think. Is this a big deal or is it not? Should DC just leave this alone? We're hearing that Rihanna has 40 days to respond to this. I don't think it even deserves a response, but obviously she's going to stand up for her name.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure. And Rihanna got Robin money. So sure she's going to put up some good money, and she's going to say that it's spelled with a Y. So we're going to have Robin Rihanna, the pop singer, and Robin, the masked villain, or the crusader of crusades.
I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll follow this story closely. We want to know your thoughts. Make sure you guys hit us up on Twitter. Post comments to the YouTube video you're watching here, and let us know what you think about Robin Rihanna Fenty.
Fenty. Do not forget the Fenty.
Next up, let's take a look back on some past E3s. We want to give you guys our top 3 E3 moments.
Ooh, I like this.
Let's start off, number 3.
And now here with a few words about what's in store for the future of Ubisoft, please welcome to the stage Ubisoft co-founder and CEO, Yves Guillemot.
A new project that we've been working on. And I think this new product is going to revolutionize the way players interact with each other. So this new IP has been created by a very talented team. We've been working on it for more than 2 years now.
In our game, not only do you play within an open city, but for the very first time, the city becomes your weapon. You will experience the power of controlling an entire infrastructure and surveillance system. Every citizen's darkest secrets will be at your fingertips. Think about it a second. What would you do with that kind of power? Be ready to strike with your weapons, your fists, and your wits. But enough said.
So I'm very proud to showcase, for the first time in North America, the successor to the PlayStation Portable. What you've come to know as NGP, our next generation portable, is officially named PlayStation Vita. Thank you. Thank you. So, what does Vita mean? Vita means life.
All right, before we give you our number 1, let's talk about a little of the details that Sony and Microsoft have released about their E3 conferences. So it looks like Sony is giving that Sony experience all over again, but this time they're expanding it. Sony experience will be distributed or shown to theaters across the nation. including Alaska and Hawaii, and 3 cities in Canada. I don't know the specific cities in Canada, but it looks like we're going to be able to watch Sony Experience in a theater on a big screen. And they're giving us a bunch of swag to go along with it.
I love free stuff.
Free stuff's good. Yep.
Let me just say, first and foremost, I love free stuff. I enjoy free stuff. Then you throw it
Because it's
on
free,
top
right?
of that.
Is it because it's stuff or is it because it's free?
Because it's free.
Okay.
I'm sure the stuff has something to do with it, but don't tell nobody that. Now, we go back into free stuff on top of a E3 experience. You don't know how us peoples in the East Coast have been dying to make our way out to the West Coast for this E3 experience, but
Right.
it's a little harder at times.
Okay.
We get that. You put me in this immersive world that they're... Well, break us down with the details.
So they did this last year, and it looks like over 10,000 people attended these across the nation at theaters in their cities. The tickets for these sold out in less than 15 minutes. So the tickets this time go on sale May 27th. I believe it's at 9 a.m. Pacific time. I believe it's something like that. But you're going to be able to get some tickets and go to a theater in your city. Hopefully it's everywhere. There's no actual time. Yeah, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, see, I was right.
Perfect.
And you're going to be able to buy a ticket to be able to experience the Sony Experience, hence the name, in a theater of your choice. You have to be 17 years of age or older, and you have to present valid ID when you go and purchase the tickets. Now, it looks like you can still, purchase these online, so I guess you can buy the ticket. You have to present your ID when you attend.
Right.
So you can head over to PlayStation.com/experience. Is it? Oh no, it's Sony.com. I'm getting this all wrong. You guys see it at the bottom.
There.
PlayStation.com/E3 Experience to purchase your tickets starting on May 27th. There's no price that's been announced for these tickets. Actually, it looks like they're free. Oh, they're free tickets.
That's beautiful.
On top of your purchase, you're going to be getting some swag that, they can't tell you everything about what it's going to be, but it looks like some DLC codes, just some content on your PlayStation, whether it's PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 or even PlayStation Vita. But with all that, I think it's a great experience to say you can now, feel the power of E3 in your own backyard.
Yes.
You don't have to travel to California for
Yes. Like it was just E3's in California, a radius blast, and it hit us all the way in the East Coast, and which is a good one because we've been waiting for this.
So I'm excited for it. I think E3 in general should be broadcast in theaters. I think it would be a good idea to say, okay, I would shell out some money for that. Charge me $40, maybe $50. Get a 3-day pass, show up at 9 p.m. at my local theater, and watch the press conferences on a huge screen. You've got vendors out here already in cities. You representatives from Sony and Xbox, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo too.
Right.
That can offer and set up some tables, set up some booths, offer some swag to gamers, and then they can watch those press conferences instead of watching them on their small laptops on a replay. Watch it on the big screen IMAX theater if that so suits you.
Do you hear that, E3?
That's a great idea. Do it.
Man Brazel has a plan for you.
Do that.
That is Larry Brazel at.
You should definitely do it though. I would pay to watch E3 in the theater.
Yes, and I think a lot of people that can't go out there and experience that. Of course, your first, second year is going to be rough, but once you start rolling it out, you're going to see the positivity in the communities.
Yeah.
You're going to see the people that are going to come out. Once the people come out and you start, like you said, setting up booths and stuff like that, you're going to grow that community.
You're going to have E3 everywhere.
I said this earlier and I stand by my word. If Sony, when they pull this E3 viewing across and say an Xbox or Microsoft owner steps into that theater, he's going to come over to the dark side.
Probably, yeah, because you get to experience Sony at that point.
Exactly.
It's all in the name. So Microsoft outlined a few details too. They're going to be doing their press conference on the same day as EA and Ubisoft. And it looks like their press conference will be 90 minutes. I think we're already used to that, though. It wasn't a huge announcement, right?
A full packed 90 minutes of, I wonder what.
What? That kind of brings us to our number one E3 moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
TV experience. TV. TV and movies. TV. Xbox. Watch TV. 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 Watch TV. TV. TV and TV remote. TV experience. TV. 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 Sports TV. 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 Anybody? TV. TV. MTV. TV. 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 Xbox. Go home.
So, surprisingly enough, what's Microsoft still talk about?
TV.
Something about TVs. So, Xbox One, big story, I guess. Xbox One's coming out with their TV tuner, rolling fresh out of beta. People have been testing it. They've been reviewing it.
Now it's available to everyone.
That's good. Now, let's see what you need to make this possible.
So first up, you need an HD TV antenna.
Okay.
And then you're going to need some USB dongle to put into the side of your Xbox One.
And then what it looks like, it's a dongle on one end, and you have the antenna plug into the other.
Yes.
Most of your setup is set up already into the Xbox.
It's already using the TV app that's built into your Xbox One. Okay. But you'll need that dongle from Hodgepodge. Of course, Hodgepodge. TV and consoles. They've been doing it, for forever now. But yeah, you'll plug that HD TV antenna into the one end of the USB HD tuner, TV tuner dongle from Hodgepodge, and then just slide that into the USB port on your Xbox One. Run your TV app, and you've now got local over-the-air TV on your Xbox One.
So when those words are described to me,
those are a lot of words too.
Local over-the-air.
HD TV tuner.
Sorry.
A lot of words, man.
TV tuner. The only time that I'm thinking about that is Sunday about 7 o'clock
Eastern time,
Channel 8. That's it.
That's Simpsons. That's Family Guy.
That's your Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
And then Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And then I might flip over to ABC, watch the Once Upon a Time. Yeah, you guys gonna hate me. I'm a fan of Once Upon a Time. What can I say? But the ideal is Xbox already has an HDMI in port. I already have a cable set-top box. I use Time Warner. Plug that boy in. You're going to get way more channels than just some local over-the-air. Who really needs this?
Or if you go the other route and say you don't have a cable box, you're going to have internet. You're not going to have an Xbox One and not be able to jump online. So you'll have your internet. You can jump on your browser.
And if you don't want to go through internet, just plug seriously, take the goddamn HD TV tuner and plug it into your TV. Why do you have to go through Xbox for that? The only reason I go through Xbox for my cable set box is because it has the HDMI and there's no added peripherals that I need to buy.
Right.
I don't need to keep on buying these additional accessories. Why would I have a HD TV antenna that maybe cost me $14 to $20?
Correct.
Why would I spend an additional $60 just to plug that into my Xbox One?
So what I've been seeing from a lot of reviews has been Xbox Play ABC or Xbox Play NBC.
You got talk to it.
Xbox Go Up. You're only gonna go up about 5-6 channels, so you ain't gotta really worry about that. So you're talking to go through local channels, and maybe an overstep or overjump.
I don't know how many local channels you got, but I've got maybe like 7 or 8 of them.
I mean, they have a lot of 3.5 and 5.1, and ABC has been split up into 15 channels. Really, they're all the same thing except for the Drew Carey channel. That's about it.
I haven't watched over-the-air TV in so long, so if you guys are out there excited about the HD TV tuner add-on to your Xbox One console, let us know. If you decide to go and get this Hodgepodge dongle, let us know how it works out for you. We'll be interested in knowing exactly how gamers plan on using something like this. But for me, I don't think it's something I'm going to add to my Xbox.
The only last point that I'll leave it with, unless it's mobile, my Xbox One is in my car and I'm going camping. Yes, I need an HD tuner.
I guess so, but are you really going camping with your Xbox One?
I just might. Don't tell the wife.
I'm going with my Vita, I'll tell you that. I'm watching some Hulu. That's going to be it from me. All right, so before we get on to our next story, make sure that you check out 1Life2Play on all these networks right here. so now on to DLC, new content that's coming out. But before we get into that, we got a reboot that's been announced.
Need for Speed, everybody. Everybody loves Need for Speed.
And they're taking it back to the original, taking it back to the roots of Need for Speed.
When you talk about driving racing, you're talking about crashing, car performance, you're going to go to Need for Speed.
Oh, yeah. Now, EA's long-running series has been talking about rebooting this, and they're going to just name it Need for Speed. There's no Hot Pursuit to it. There's no, what was the last Need for Rivals? They're not even going through all that. They're giving you hardcore Need for Speed. Back to it's the basics. What made racing great.
That's a great aspect to go through. That's a great avenue to go down. You don't want to go and Need for Speed Dos Equis.
You don't need to keep adding into it. Need for Speed is Need for Speed.
Go in it, retune, refine Need for Speed, bring it out on the main console.
Right.
Boom.
So we'll check out, this news comes courtesy of IGN. Thanks a lot for sharing this with us. But we'll check out a little of the trailer right now.
Yo, what's that? Yo, cop!
Okay, so that was just a teaser of what we're going to be getting in Need for Speed. What I like is that they're getting back into that grittiness of what racing is. You know, the graphics and the visuals look amazing. I can't wait to see more about this game, but Need for Speed is coming back, y'all.
And I'm glad that it's coming back on the next-gen consoles. We're talking about driving games are coming back.
That's what I say. Please, EA, do not do this. Do not come out with Need for Speed for PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. Stick to the next-gen consoles. Make it look great. Don't tie yourselves up with trying to make it work on every platform. Get to the PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Now, speaking of all that, we have something coming to PlayStation 4 that people are pretty excited about. Looks like a Sony boss has confirmed that a Bloodborne expansion is coming. It's on the horizon. Bloodborne, we like the grittiness of it.
How can you expand on a game that's the depths in this game is unimaginable?
Just give us more. Why not just give us more of it?
The creativity is out this world. I mean, honestly, the studio that came up with Bloodborne.
Yep. So the studio is From Software. They worked on Dark Souls 2 and 3 DLC packs for Dark Souls, and then even remodeled it. I believe they came out with Dark Souls 2, or even just the first Dark Souls. They redid it for Xbox One. So those kind of things are amazing coming from. But the idea to add upon a game that's so great already, a game, by the way, I haven't finished. I'll be honest with you, I have not finished that game. A lot of other games did come out around that time that I started playing, but to say the expansion's coming, that's great.
No, the game is long, and the game is dark. Like, I'm dark, okay, we can go and say that maybe sometimes I don't have feelings, but sheesh, that game scares me, man.
Right. It's like putting on some goggles and just seeing a whole nother realm right in front of you.
Yes.
So I'm excited to hear. This is quoted right from Twitter from Shuhei Yoshida at Sony through From Software. So I've been asked by many people if we are making DLC for Bloodborne. I can say an expansion is coming. More info later this year. You can be sure that 1Life2Play will be right on top of that news, so stay tuned to 1Life2Play on YouTube and on Twitter to find out more when that news is announced. Now, let's take a look at the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. These review scores that have been coming out, they're pretty high rankings. They're in the 90s, according to Metacritic. It's critically acclaimed, we should call it, right?
Yes, critically.
People are liking it. It's an open world RPG. From what we've seen from a lot of the trailers and the videos of people playing on Twitch, it's not a game that I've picked up yet, but it does look pretty immersive. What do you think about that open world?
I mean, when you say, you have to remember RPG. That's a key 3 letters when you speak about this game. On the open world aspect, the game looks great. The open world looks immersive. Anywhere you go, you might have some dead spots, of course, but it looks for the most part that they've, I don't want to say mastered, but got a handle on the open world. And I mean a massive open world.
So it looks like some of the lower review scores that are, say, in the 80s, come from PlayStation Official Magazine out of the UK, also from Games Radar and Destructoid. Some of the things that they're saying is this huge step forward from the predecessors. That's coming from Destructoid. They're liking the open world aspect. It's a very compelling game when it talks about the characters and your involvement with the characters.
Right.
But overall, you're talking about a storyline where you're looking for two people.
Correct.
And there's a lot of filler.
And I hope I'm not spoiling anybody's, view on this game, but one of those persons, you don't even look for them until a good 3/4 way into the game.
Right.
So you're basically doing a whole bunch of side missions and stuff. What it looks to me is that they're focusing in your side missions. You're gonna find stuff to do,
and that's that filler part. But the filler of that game, when we talk about fillers in games, just to develop a storyline, it looks like that's what makes up the game, and that's what makes the game great too. Is those side missions, the things you're able to do.
And that's a good point of view, I guess, to go at it when you're dealing with such a massive open world like this. But remember, again, an RPG. So you do have to give it that. Maybe your graphics ain't gonna look that great. I know me and Braz were having debates here about the combat. The combat, yes. The combat is maybe not the best that you want.
Games Radar puts it the best. They call it sloppy combat, and then they talk about ongoing optimization. So on the PC version, they've already put patches out to kind of scale back some of the graphics in order to prevent stutter. It is only running at 30 frames per second. I could have swore I read earlier this year that this game would be running at 60 frames per second. I don't understand the idea that you got a console game on next generation that is still running at 30 frames per second.
Right.
But the mass of the game in of itself, you might have to scale that back a bit because you're doing a lot on screen. A
very lot, and at the same time trying to keep the storyline up to date and keep you immersed in the game,
right?
And not get you to because you can always in an open world game you can always whittle away from your main missions and then find yourself just slaying dragons.
I found myself doing that in a little bit of the Middle Earth game, Shadow of Mordor. That I really wasn't sticking to the main storyline. I was just going around from camp to camp and just having fun with some of the combat systems in that game. But when I look at some of these trailers and some of these gameplays, these list plays for The Witcher 3, I find that combat doesn't look that great. When I play Bloodborne or when I even play Shadow of Mordor, I'm finding myself slashing and hacking and really seeing some blood spew, bodies crumble or sliced up. I don't see that a lot in The Witcher, but at the same time, you've got some pretty action-packed moments, it looks like.
And it looks and we always go back to how the game looks. So we are stuck on an RPG for Witcher. And when I was thinking about picking up Witcher was for strictly slaying dragons. I just want to run around and I wanted to be Billy Badass. But again, like we spoke earlier, we can go back to Skyrim, we could go to Elder Scrolls and do that.
Yep.
And if you're talking about a combat RPG, I'm sure that the RPG players, the gamers that play strictly RPGs, are going to find a better RPG. So what is the real reason why you're even going to go play Witcher or even go pick it up and play it?
Yeah, for me, it's on a back burner. It's not something I'm picking up right away. I may pick it up maybe later next week. You guys can check out some videos of that if we do.
Oh, yes.
Stay tuned to our Twitter when we announce the date and time that we'll be playing some of that. But for me, it reminds me of World of Warcraft when you take away the MMO side of it, that you're playing this RPG with these these fetch missions. Should you call them fetch?
The fetches?
Fetch. I don't know. But you got these missions out there to where you just really like building up your armor, you're building up your spells, you're developing your crafting skill. And when that game is the majority, or that type of play is the majority of your game, I don't know that I'm really, ready to spend $60 to play that game when I can find something like that elsewhere.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's a kind of what's kind of drawn me away from it. But again, it's getting some pretty awesome review scores when it comes to actual users and gamers playing these games. It's got a lot of 10s out there, according to Metacritic. Some are actually giving it a 0, and we'll give a shout out obviously to Infinity Gaunty, who actually gave it a 0 and said that CD Projekt Red really pulled wool over people's eyes with the game. It looks like last generation gameplay, and it's really hard to digest a game like that. So that goes again back to the graphics and what they had to harness in order to get a game like that out. You had to pull something back, and it comes down to the graphics. And when we look at the combat, when you got a sword stabbing into somebody and that sword then disappears as you're doing that, that's a big problem. And that's
a problem. Or if I slash and every continuous slash just pops your head off, I have a problem with that. Maybe that's a PlayStation 2 title. I don't know. But there's something that has to be going on in Witcher 3 for everybody to be giving it such high remarks.
And it's got to be the open world. It's got to be how immersive that environment is.
I'm not going to lie, when you talk about open world, we jumped into Far Cry, and you can get lost in there.
Yep.
Now, if you know how to master the open world and keep us on our path, but still throw us a little bit off and bring us back, and then bring us back in, then you have a gameplay. So we will be having Witcher 3 and we will be getting some gameplay, so you can check back up on us.
So let's take a look at the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt launch trailer and take a look at it for yourself.
Wolves asleep amidst the trees, bats all a-swaying in the breeze. But one soul lies anxious, wide awake, fearing all manner of ghouls, hags, and wraiths.
Nice tune. Been a while since I heard it last.
Folk have forgotten it.
Got other things on their mind.
Things like me.
They paid me for you.
In times past, no amount of coin would convince a witcher to take this contract.
Times have changed.
He'll chop and slice, you cut and dice, you eat you a whole. Eat you whole.
So again, when we get our hands on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, we will be sure to share that with you on twitch.tv/1Life2Play, or even on our website, 1Life2Play.com. You can join in the chat from there too. That's going to conclude our show for this week. Feeling good about it?
I'm feeling great.
All right. We want to shout out to you 321 subscribers out there on YouTube right now. We want you to make sure you stay tuned to 1Life2Play and everything that we've been doing. We're giving you a new format. It's something that we hope you enjoy because we enjoy doing it for you guys too. Now again, you can find us on youtube.com/1Life2Play. Make sure you guys subscribe and like and definitely comment if you're liking our videos so you have something to say about what we've discussed over this past episode.
Definitely comment.
We want to give a quick shout out to our most recent subscribers, and again, you can get a shout out on our episode 1Life2Play this week, every week, if you just hit that subscribe button. So big shout out to GSF. Another one to Rico Guy 565. Thanks a lot for subscribing. Daniel Brothwell and Vince Franchino. We appreciate the subscribe. Make sure you guys like some videos. And lastly, Noah Wilson. Thanks a lot for subscribing to 1Life2Play. We hope you enjoy the content and look for more content in the future along with 1Life2Play this week and some other episodes of our Time to Plays and side commentary from not only myself but LEM and Mr. Double OP, who plays a lot of League of Legends. So be sure you check those out too. A lot of League of Legends. So like I said, that's going to wrap it up for this week on 1Life2Play this week. Until next time, always do what you do best, do what we do all the time, and remember,